Rightio, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, yep, you're good. And what has been a crazy NPL New South Wales men's season completes the regular season this afternoon. Sydney Olympic, of course, a sad story. Last week, officially being relegated from the NPL men's New South Wales. And will be in League One in 2027. They take on Sydney FC, who are a chance, if they win today and results go their way, to be the first academy side in NPL men's New South Wales history to make it into the final series. We have got a cracking afternoon ahead. Let's go through the team list. First, Sydney FC. Zavadinos, the goalkeeper. Reef Farias, 3. Marshall Witt, 4. Lancaster, 8. Fowler, 9. Headley, 10. Negro, 24. Alfaro, 26. Williams, 34. Travato, 37. Cronin, 47. The starting 11 for Sydney FC. For Sydney Olympic, their starting 11. Philip Curto, the goalkeeper. And then it's Hong in 4. Akyun in 6. Nizam, 8. Amanakis, 10. Trisakalovic in 14. Callahan, 16. Politis, 18. Bulgaria in 21. Kukuchka, 23. Fernandez, 34. Starting 11 for both sides. Nicholas Kutniak with you, and we have got a massive day. We will be keeping you posted with all the games. Apia play St George City, some calling it the coronation day for Apia, who are the premiers for season 2026. While Blacktown play Wanderers in a game that is actually meaningless in terms of what it's going to do for final spots in the competition. While Marconi take on Spirit, that is an important game. If Spirit can win, they book their ticket into the NPL Men's New South Wales finals. Rockdale play University of New South Wales in another game that probably doesn't mean too much. Rockdale, really, they need results to go their way if there's any chance of being in the finals. But, yeah, good luck. They would have to win and expect a lot of losses. Sutherland take on SD Raiders. Situation in that game, Sutherland obviously got the Australian Championship spot in 4th place, while for SD Raiders, a win, and if results go their way, could make the finals, but results need to go their way. Sydney United and St George Saints, basically, Sydney United are fighting for second place in the competition, and that's the same case in that Maconi Spirit game, and that could end up with goal difference being key, depending on results. And Wollongong and Manly, who are underway after 3 minutes, no score on the board in that one. And obviously both sides trying to make it into the finals. Manly, if they win, they're in. If Wollongong win, they need results to go their way, but they are a chance. Back here, we are just about right for kickoff. We are underway in what is a weird day at Belmore Sports Ground. Final time we see Sydney Olympic and NPL men's for a little while as Bogardia works it across to the right. Hong is able to send it wide. Politis down the line. Sydney FC wearing the white strip today. Nearly taken down the challenge was Zach Fowler. As I said before, so much riding on this game. Could you imagine if they were the first academy side to make it into the NPL men's finals in New South Wales? Fowler was trying to beat Hong for it, but Hong was able to play it forward. Sydney FC once again with Marshall Witt, and Fowler over the top and goes over the netting. So 2 games have started. On watch is a massive day in the final round of regular season action, and all games played at the same time. Politis works it up the line. Spinning around is Callahan. Politis goes back to Hong. And now it's Curto. And now it will be Sydney Olympic again. Akyun works it back inside, and Bogardia. Pressure. Trisakalovic expecting a big game from him today. Akyun will have the throw for his side. All dropping in position. Alfaro couldn't get the pass away. Fowler tucks a nice ball on. A shot that goes over the top with Curto. Travato with that effort. His first starting appearance for Sydney FC in the NPL Men's New South Wales. Ball is fired over halfway. Headed quickly by Williams. On the academy side, it will be a throw. Developing nicely at Belmore for Canterbury Bankstown. And the Rugby League, the academy. Politis looks a wide ball. So game's underway between United and St George FC. No score there. Rockdale University of New South, no score. Those two games 2 minutes in. Other games yet to start. Justin Davies, who's writing this game, thinks he's at Harvey Norman with the amount of screens we've got here. There's Marshall Witt. The pressure there was on. Ali Callahan. Hong beaten, but Olympic still able to have possession in their own half. Possession now for Bulgaria. Now it's Sydney FC retreating back. Williams. And now it's Zevadinos. 15 starts this season for him. Named 9 times on the bench. Yet to play off the bench as such. Underway between Apia and St George City, no score. Blacktown and Wanderers, no score. Marconi and Spirit yet to start. And Sutherland and SD also yet to start. So we'll keep you updated throughout the afternoon. Williams over halfway. Marshall Witt. McEwen was able to work it back. Trisaglovich. Hong. Politis. Hong. Politis again. FC will win possession again. Lancaster. Headley. Twist and turns. Beats Politis. Beats him again. Headley chips the ball on. Curran headed it down. And again, Olympic on the counter. Now Nazam. And now Amanakis. And eventually comes back. Trisaglovich. And Olympic lose possession. It's FC once more. These young boys know how important this is today. Alfaro. And now it's Cronin. Headley. Nice touch by Lancaster. Back to Headley. Now Lancaster. Headley. Lancaster back. Alfaro. And goes wide of the mark. But it did touch off Olympic, so it will be a corner. Now all games have started. No score on the board in every game. And as I said, it feels like it's NPL New South Wales penalty area. Well, it doesn't have the same ring as NFL Red Zone, but we'll work on a name at some point during the afternoon. Cronin takes the corner, the left foot in swinger. Now it tracks back for Farias. Reef Farias. Can't work it inside. It touched off Hong. Will go out for a throw in. Inches from the goal line. Sydney Olympic had their youth presentation earlier before. Some of the kids have stuck around for this game. It's an eerie feeling today, heading to Belmore, knowing that Olympic have been relegated. Still have to play this game. It's heartbreaking last week in that loss. And I suppose it was something we didn't expect to happen. Lost the Marconi 1-0, but talking about their season generally, I did actually at one stage think they probably would be in the relegation zone at the start of the year, but I didn't actually think it would be the case. Such a proud club, Sydney Olympic. They've still got the Australian Championship to contend with. As now Fowler loses possession. Possession was Fernandez. Then eventually goes back to Tresaklovic and Hong once more. So keeping updated with every game. No score at every venue. Wollongong has played the longest. Wollongong and Manly, they're 12 minutes in. So we know we will probably finish second. We'll do our best to let you know what's happening with the other games as well. Kewen worked it on. Tresaklovic headed up by Nizam. And now here's a chance. Callahan cutting inside. Callahan, good defence by Sydney FC. Fernandez couldn't get control on that. And now it is Sydney FC with Fowler working a ball that's going to go wide and out. And a throw for Sydney Olympic. So Fernandez tracking back. Politis, Hong, the captain's armband on today too. McEwen. Fernandez's ball shut down by Sydney FC. Again, Fowler. Kewen's on him. Fowler does touch it last. He was trying to get the free kick, not coming. Referee in charge today is Charlie Hollings. Assistants Isaac Riggs and Ella McGarity. Isaac didn't want to have a bar of the previous challenge as Williams wins his side. The throw, all touching Olympic last. So we're working the 11th minute. Fowler's got possession. Fowler beats Fernandez. Fowler now, he's taken down the challenge. Foul will be called about 30 yards from goal. No score in all the games. Didn't quite have the shotgun start, but close enough. Now Furrow works the ball on Lancaster over the top. And will go out for a goal kick. We know Sydney FC will be trying. They've had the attacking chances. They've been inside Olympics defensive third quite a bit in this first half. Ball was worked on by Nizam. Hong heads it. Politis on the right. Back to Hong. One of the greatest days of the year, the final round of the NPL men's season. All games at the same time and so many situations unfolding. It's spots in the six. It's who's going to be second, who's going to be third. As Fernandez's ball is shut down. And now Cronin works it back. Zavadinos has got it. He goes to his right to Farias. Farias works it over halfway. Politis couldn't win the ball. And now it's Cronin. Cronin's got support. Worked it inland, but Fernandez was able to shut it down. But Cronin's won it. Cronin has a shot. Goes to the right. He's missed it. I tell you what. I think we're just waiting for that first goal. All venues, still no score. So now the foul goes the way of Sydney FC. Falling for the ball on the right. Marshall Witt works it inside. Touched on by Negro. Now Furrow found support. And now he tried to cut inside Headley. Didn't quite work. Politis, nice work. And now here goes Olympic. They're on halfway now, Sydney Olympic. It's been won nicely by Williams. But still a chance, Olympic. Probably too much on that by Callahan. Goes out for a throw. So no score at all venues on the final day of the regular season. Kewen is able to work it back. Shizaglovich playing his 12th game starting for Olympic this season. And 4 games playing for the bench and 6 non-starting games. As Olympic, Fernandez couldn't do much initially. Was lobbed up high by FC. Kewen now is able to work it back for Olympic. Shistaglovich, Hong on the right. Goal spirit. Goal spirits. They lead 1-0 after 10 minutes, and now United have scored 1-0 against St George FC. Oh boy, we're already seeing some action at 2 venues. So Spirit's got the lead against the grain. I think everybody thought Marconi would take that one out, but Spirit have got the lead there on 43 points, and at the moment in 5th place on the live ladder. And Sydney United, they're in 2nd. So that game, that's a double blow for Marconi, conceding a goal and United scoring at the same time. Hong heads it down, and then it's played on by Bagaria. So now on the left, it's Nizam. Shistaglovich back. And across he goes to Hong. Hong, 10 out from halfway. Goes back, finds Amanakis. Shistaglovich, Fernandez. Amanakis was on a lead. Kewen, though, will have possession. Now the ball comes back to Hong. He's got Politis and utilises Peter. Kukuchka this season has had 14 starting appearances. Very good player, Sebastian Kukuchka. It's been spoken about, high praise. Be interesting where he ends up next season. Nizam dispossessed. Ball played back by Marshall Witt. And Furrow worked it forward, but was stopped off by Kewen. Hong on the right side. No score between Olympic and Sydney FC. NPL Men's New South Wales, Football New South Wales YouTube. There's now Sydney FC with a chance. It's Fowler. Hong quickly shutting it down. Fowler doing his best. Hong will have to work it back inside. Shistaglovich has possession and wheels it down. And our Olympic trying to build. Be played away. At the back was Marshall Witt. So 1-0, Spirit lead Marconi. And United lead St George FC 1-0. Every other game, 0-0. Keep you posted of all those games. Hong has it. Hong goes back to his right. Now it's Fernandez. Tracking back is Bagaria. Looks it into the middle. Sydney FC can't hold court here. Kukuchka's got it for Olympic. Kukuchka slides it inside. Stopped by Zavadinos. Rolls it down. Furrow involved in the action again. His arm back. Tresikovic. Hong. He's got to be careful because Sydney FC really want to put the screws on this Olympic side. They want to put the pressure throughout the whole game. And so it should be the case. So throw in to be taken. Near side of the ground, Marshall Witt has been bouncing between the right and the left throughout the game. Now Furrow lobs it up. Fowler, can he get onto this? He's got Tresikovic on him, who wins out Tresikovic. And now it's been turned over. Here's a shot that goes over the top by Travato. Again, it's not quite happening for Sydney FC, but they've got the glut of possession and the chances. Every other game, we've got a goal. Manly's just scored. 1-0 after 23 minutes. Ball was worked into the middle and the shot was nice. And they've scored. So Manly lead 1-0 against Wollongong. And now they go up to, well, they stay in 5th place. Live ladder sees them on 44 points. Spirit on 43. Spirit leading Marconi 1-0. And Sydney United 1, St George 0. And remember, Marconi are now in 3rd, United on the live ladder in 2nd. We've got a lot happening here. As now it's worked forward by Headley. Ball's going to bounce. Curran, I should say, gets onto it, but heads it straight into Alfaro's feet. Now Alfaro tries to work it back, but Olympic able to get possession initially through Amanakis, but Alfaro wins the challenge. Alfaro now works it to his right. This is Negro. He goes across and finds Fowler. Fowler works it to the far post. Thinks around. Headley's going to get to it. Headley now works his way in. Headley sliding, works it back. Alfaro, nice touch. Negro. Alfaro trying. Now the ball worked back. Shot by Headley first time. Now Headley wants to have another crack. Good defence by Olympic. Politis just clears it away. Foul goes the way of Olympic too. 3 yards in from halfway. So Sydney Olympic. Hong. Callahan back. Ewan couldn't get to it. It's great work by Travato. Haven't seen much of Travato. He's a young kid that will be building for Sydney FC. One of the younger players. we mentioned before the situation with Sydney FC, because contracts and the like go up for June 30 with scholarships and A-League deals and the like, they tend to lose players, academy teams. And that's why it'd be a big story if they were to make it into the finals. Sydney United have just scored a second goal. United 2, St George FC 0. Back here, here's a shot low. Fernandez couldn't squeeze it past Zavadinos. Now Farrow's got it. Headley saying it touched off Olympic, but no, the referee says not the case. So let's confirm. Marconi 0, Spirit 1. Sydney United 2, St George FC 0. Wollongong 0, Manly 1. Other games, no score. A lot happening. Sydney United have just gone to a 2-goal advantage. As now Fernandez worked the ball on. Kakuchka goes out, will be a goal kick. Couldn't quite get the ball away he was looking for. Zavadinos about to take the goal kick. I can't believe Marconi is down 1-0 against Spirit. Fernandez trying to backheel. FC. Furrow back. Not quite the ball Lancaster needed to deliver. Hong. Trisaklovic. Hong. Callahan dispossessed. Lancaster taking down the challenge. And United have got a penalty as well. In their game against St George, they're about to make it 3-0. Back here, McEwen trying to stop Sydney FC. Does so. Trisaklovic on the left. Works it up the line. Callahan was shut down. It's our Furrow. Negro. Now it's Marshall Wetz. Great work by Olympic. The foul goes the way of Sydney FC though. Foul was taken. Fernandez is trying to say, no, it should have been the other way. As the penalty's been saved. So Sydney United 2, St George FC 0. Right. Other games, nothing quite happening yet. But we'll keep you abreast while we cover this one, because this game means a lot still. Fowler heads it down. Head of the way. Trisaklovic there in that situation. Now Furrow. Now Furrow. He goes back. Good work by Farias initially. It's again Lancaster. And now it's Fowler back inside. Saved by Curto. Negro has an attempt. Goes wide of the mark, but the referee already knew there was a indiscretion. I think there might have been a handball. So Olympic will have it. So stock take on the games at the moment. United 2, St George FC 0, 25 in. Wollongong 0, Manly 1, 30 gone. Marconi 0, Spirit 1, 23 gone. All other games, no score. We're working the 27th minute. Fowler. Nice ball. Negro in the middle. Hong stops it. Negro trying to work it forward. Fernandez was there to stop it. Worked it to Kukuchka, who's on a run. Kukuchka now. Cronin's jockeying. Kukuchka on his left. Kukuchka goes back to his right. Now dinks back to his left. Works it back inside. Shot first time by Bulgaria, didn't work. FC clear. Fernandez couldn't control. Fowler. Alfaro. Slides a ball. McEwen gives away the foul. FC ball. Well, Sydney FC last week, we must note the game against Rockdale. They won 2-1. That was a crazy old game. I think a lot of people thought that Rockdale would be able to get the victory. They weren't able to on that occasion. As I think Manly have just scored another goal. They have. It's 2-0. It's 2-0 in Wollongong. Marconi 2, Wollongong 0. It's Fowler now. He's got a chance to beat the keeper. Over the top of Curto, head of the way. Hong saves the day. Curto was lucky Hong was there. Oh boy, this is just crazy stuff at the moment. But Sydney FC need to score a goal almost straight away. They need the score in the next couple of moments. As here's the corner in, comes back, and Olympic clear. Spirit lead Marconi 1-0, and that's the reason why I say they need a goal quickly. Sydney FC. The goal difference is not their friend. Heading into the game, Spirit were -1, FC were -5, so they would have to win by 5 goals if they were levelled on points. But I think Sydney FC would have thought Spirit would have a hard time against Marconi. Now this will be a card. Question is what colour? Yellow. No, the free kick about 20 yards from goal here, Sydney FC. Again, it comes back when Marshall Witt had the throw. And Hong's challenge, yeah, it wasn't overly flash, was it? So who takes this? Headley, he's there, Cronin's there. You'd imagine it'll be Headley on the right foot. You'd imagine. So Cronin placing the ball down. Headley and Cronin there. Will be Headley, you'd imagine. 5-man war for Olympic. Cronin moves in, takes it, bounces off the wall. Interesting, they went down the Cronin option. Thought it would have been more Headley. They get the foul anyway again. Sydney FC. As Politis heads it down. Played on by Amanakis. Now it's our furrow for FC. Couldn't get to it, Williams. Oh, I should say Tavado. As again, it'll be Olympic. Callahan to his right. Kukuchka back inside. Now furrow. And again, it's Cronin. Cronin back in. Marshall Witt. Again, it's worked forward by Travato. Fowler won't be able to get to it. Curto just booted it away. Former MacArthur goalkeeper. And there's an Olympic player on the ground. Hong this time. Manly have just scored a third goal. 3-0, they lead Wollongong. 3-0, a goal to Manly. Oh boy. Oh boy. It looks like Manly have just clinched a final spot. So while Hong's getting treated, they're just doing some scores at the ground as well. I didn't think Manly would do as much of a job on Wollongong that they are at the moment, but they are well and truly up 3-0. That's a crazy game from what we're seeing. The other games, as we mentioned, Apia, St George City, no score, 31 in. Blacktown Wanderers, no score, 32 in. Marconi 0, Spirit 1, 31 in. Rockdale 0, University 0, 33 in. Sutherland 0, SD Raiders 0, 30 in. United 2, Sydney United, St George 0. Skirto will stop this. Oh boy, he nearly had a moment there. That could have been... Anyway. Let's see what they can do now. Trisaklovic. So Sydney FC on the attack. Fowler. Fowler now. Loses possession, but here's the shot that goes to the left. He couldn't get it at the right moment. Travato. To dink to the right. It just went left. Will be a goal kick. Hong has it. An Olympic looking to build, but again FC win possession. Headley punches it forward. Played down by Trisaklovic. Politis couldn't control it. Played back by Fernandez, Hong, and then lobbed up by Bagaria. Politis wants it. Won the challenge against Headley. Here comes Olympic. Fernandez. Turned over. FC once more. Here's Fowler. Fowler. Again, wide of the mark. Nil at Belmore Sports Ground as United have just got a third goal. Sydney United lead St George Saints 3-0. Big result there. especially with Marconi losing 1-0 to Spirit. Kukuchka, not much doing there. United's got a demolition job going. They are making sure that they pull back the goal difference regardless of what the result is at Marconi Stadium down the road. It's fascinating this whole day, quite intriguing, as Rockdale have just scored against University, 1-0. Game probably means not much now. But they've got that goal. Rockdale. Olympic. That goes over the bar. Just not quite a shot Bulgaria was looking for. As Rockdale, as I mentioned, have just scored in the 37th. 1-0, 37 in that game. It's Sydney FC on the attack. Nice ball on the Fowler. Fowler! Flag's up! Flag is up. The flag went up quickly. He saw it pretty quickly, Isaac Riggs. And we're not quite as excited as we were 30 seconds ago. But Headley trying to work a ball on, didn't quite work. Now it's Olympic on the counter. Hong. Bulgaria works it. McEwen. And now it's Sydney FC. Travato. Not quite the effort. But FC coming back. On halfway. Marshall Witt now has it. Negro. Negro again. Has it. Shapes it right. Now Furrow could not get the head onto it. Goes out for a throw on this western side of Belmore Sports Ground. All happening at Sydney United Sports Centre. 3-0. And to find out what's happening at the venue, because I can see a security guard on the field at the moment and plays just stopped for the meantime. So we'll find out more from that game. Back at Belmore, it's Marshall Witt. Marshall Witt to the left. Now a chance. Headley trying to work it back inside. It was cut down the first time. Politis now has possession. Politis works it to his right. Kukuchka, damaging run. Now it comes back to Nizam. Nizam. And now they build back. McEwen. Tresaglovic. Fernandez back. Tresaglovic, nice run. Tresaglovic will go himself now. He works it to Callahan. Bailey now on the right foot. Can't get the shot away. Marshall Witt taking down the challenge. Foul goes the way of Sydney FC. Wearing the white strip today. So we've got a delay at United, but we don't know the exact situation there. So now, headed down by Tresaglovic. McEwen. Callahan couldn't get to it. Olympic on the attack, Bulgaria. Now Furrow's got it. Foul. Foul was called. Well, actually, they called time off here because the Olympic players on the ground, so no score here. No score at Blacktown and Wanderers. No score Sutherland SD. 3-0 United lead St George FC. Wollongong 0, Manly 3. Marconi 0, Spirit 1. Rockdale 1, University of New South 0. It's all happening at Belmore Sports Ground, though, because Sydney FC, as Wanderers have just scored against Blacktown City. So now 40 in, Wanderers have just got a goal. 1-0. Back here. Ball drops back. Furrow can't get to that. Fernandez sweeps it forward. Kukuchka, nice ball to Bagaria. Back to Kukuchka on the right. Kukuchka's got runners here. Callahan going to the right. He won't get there first. Played away by Williams. Now Furrow again making a run. Cuts inside. Furrow again looking and goes to Fowler. Fowler needs support though. Kewen is on him, but Fowler beats him first time. Then the short pass. There's the header by Travato, but the flag was up. Offside goal. Goal to Apia. 1-0. They lead St George City. After 41 minutes. Must not get too excited when goals, because you might be thinking I'm saying there's a goal in this game. No. Goal at Apia for St George City. So that's another game that's got a goal. So only 2 games without goals. Sutherland and SD in this one. Half-time, by the way, Manly lead Wollongong 3-0. We're nearly at the witching hour. Callahan. And now it's Bagaria. Bagaria working it back. Fernandez. Hong on the right. Hong. Short pass. Kukuchka going back to Hong. Well, he was trying to, but the ball goes out. So that didn't quite work. We are in the 45th minute, so the fourth official will show the board in a moment. I wonder if the coaching staff at half-time tell the players for Sydney FC what is happening with the other games, or do you just go, no, focus on your game, don't worry about anything else? I just wonder. Ball is worked forward by Hong, goes over the top of Williams. Savadinos back to Williams. Cronin down the left wing. We are in injury time now, but we haven't got a board. So a couple of minutes, I would imagine, has been added. FC, though, want a goal before the break. Hong is able to clear. Well, there was only a minute. And that's it. Half time. Olympic 0. Sydney FC 0. Other games around the grounds. Apia 1. St George City 0. Blacktown 0. Wanderers 1. Marconi 0. Spirit 1. Rockdale 1. University of New South 0. And at Seymour Shore, Sutherland have just scored to make it 1-0 after 42 minutes. Rockdale's just got a goal to make it 2-0 against University of New South Wales. 3-0 United lead St George FC. The 45th minute, they're in injury time. Wollongong 0, Manly 3. Half time, as I said here, Olympic and FC no score. As now we hear Zorba in the backgrounds. Repeating, as Marconi have just equalised. It's 1-1. They've just equalised against Spirit. Hold on to your hats. All of a sudden, this game needs FC to score a goal. Oh boy. It's all happened in the last minute and a half. Goals have been scored left, right and centre at the other venues. We'll be back shortly for the second half at Belmore Sports Ground. No score between Sydney Olympic and Sydney FC.
Every week, hundreds of thousands of people turn up around football grounds around New South Wales. Parents, kids, refs, coaches and volunteers. Cardiac incidents can happen to anyone at any time on the pitch.
Right now, not every club has a defibrillator.
And the ones that do are not always maintained or ready to use. In a critical moment, with a defib, that could save lives. That's why Football New South Wales, St John Ambulance and Toyota have come together for Every Beat Matters to help clubs around New South Wales to access defibrillators, cover maintenance and build a register so we know exactly where every unit is around the state. All you need to do is buy a ticket through Raffletix. $5 can make a difference. Every ticket goes towards funding defibrillators and maintenance for clubs that need it most. A live fundraising board shows exactly how much is being raised. And every ticket you buy puts you in the draw to win a Toyota Corolla. One ticket, real impact. Help your club be ready when it matters. So buy your ticket today.
For Fowler once again, heavy touch from Kunimoto will be punished here. Alfaro collecting possession, doing a great job. Adiensha now delivering low, falls there for Fowler through the legs, a chance to finish. Oh, Zach Fowler! Nothing foul about that. That is fresh. That is sweet. Good first effort here, potentially on the offering for Pelicanos, who didn't get anything onto it. Now Griffiths, lovely release. Constable for the corner! A cool, composed finish. Fowler can keep it in the field of play. Has a quick look. Space back through the middle. Big chance here for Glasson, who threads the needle and will claim it. It's gorgeous from Glasson. It's potentially glory for Sydney FC.
Through the left, here comes Choi. A burst of acceleration, he hits the byline. Nicolau with a header! Yanni Nicolau! The right back coming across the pitch into the penalty area, timing his run to perfection. Early ball, Hollingdale breaking out to the right flank. Riley Hollingdale, first time ball, McGowan making a low run and the tap in for Bonilla. Brilliantly worked by the Sutherland Sharks and they have a 2-0 lead. Here goes Solomon John Monahan Viker. Score now, there's plenty of time to go for St George City. The ball is left by Mitri, the return pass, brilliant goal! Paolo Mitri! What a good team move from St George City.
And it's Ono now, again, towards the near post. And it's headed, and it's in there! Ono with the corner, Nieuwenhof with the header. 22 minutes gone. They're shaping up now for this free kick. Burgess, very interestingly, is kneeling down directly in front of the wall. I'm not sure I've seen that one before. But the free kick now is going to be taken. It's driven. Oh, it's beautifully driven into the bottom corner there. A fantastic free kick by Kakeru Ono.
Daru doing really well to keep that in, and he's found Noah Peacock in a bit of room. Peacock returning it to Ben Daru. It bounces awkwardly, and Daru is there again. Not to be denied twice, as Spirit take the lead in this crucial game.
What an opportunity for Jaden Casella to try and convert. Just 5 goals this league campaign. And it's saved by Henderson initially, and then Casella sticks in the rebound. Dream start for St George.
Keeping tight on Hernandez. It's still going for the Wolves though. Here's Lachlan Scott. Looks to play it across. And the Wollongong Wolves have the lead. It's an own goal. Vidakovic under pressure from Masuvecchio, who's won the ball in a great position. Hernandez goes for a shot and finds the goal. Wollongong have a 2-goal lead. Calamity at the back for Western Sydney. Breaks away down the right. Can the Wolves really put themselves in a good position? Here's BC with a shot, which finds the bottom corner, and Wollongong have their third.
Found Busek, who found Yona. And Olympic are hanging on, but it might be ended here. Is that the goal that relegates Sydney Olympic and sees Marconi go into the top 2? It's Ahmed Elahu.
Back at Belmore, no score. And what has been an intriguing first half, but it's all happening. So, let's take stock what's happening around the grounds. Now, Sydney United and St George, there was a delay because there was a medical emergency, we were told, but they're back underway. 3-0 United lead. United lead St George. Now, they've had about 13 minutes of additional time in that one. That game will go beyond 5 o'clock. While the other games, Apia 1, St George City 0, half-time. Blacktown 0, Wanderers 1, half-time. Marconi 1, Spirit 1, half-time. Rockdale 2, University of New South Wales 0, half-time. Sutherland and SD see Sutherland lead 1-0, Sutherland 1, SD 0 at half-time. We're about to start the second half. We haven't quite yet, but my score sheet is saying we're 47 minutes in. We're definitely at half-time. And Wollongong 0, Manly 3, 48 in to that contest. So Manly looking likely to be in the finals. All happening. It is all happening. And we are about to start the second half. Check if there's any changes by either side. From what it looks like, I don't think so, but we will check. Second half is underway. Sydney FC have got a lot to play for here. If they want to play finals, Headley works it to the left. Nice work. Spins around in this situation here. Eventually, Cronin gets himself away of defenders, touches off Kukuchka, will go out for a throw. Right. Second half is well and truly underway. Sydney FC looking for a foul, not coming. Headley now works his way in. Goes to the right of Curto. Now, that ball did go out, I thought. Referee saying no. If it did, it should have been a corner, not to be. It's now Sydney FC on the press. Here's Fowler. Over the top again. Another chance, not to be. Stunning start to the second half. They basically have to throw the kitchen sink now, Sydney FC, to get that goal. Remember, with Marconi and Spirit now 1-1, live ladder, Spirit are on 41 points. Sydney FC on 40. FC need to win this game. They just need to win. And obviously, Sydney FC would be on 41 too, I should note, with both teams on a draw at the moment. As now the ball bounces. Hong won't be able to get to this. This will be Negroes. Back heels nicely. Fowler inside. Flag was up. Another offside. They are trying their guts, though, to get a goal. So we are underway. definitely still playing, we should note. I might have to go into radio mode because it looks like there's no graphic, or there's a graphic on the screen. If MCR can fix that up. As now Sydney FC at possession, our Furrow. And the ball touches off Callahan. So no score here. We are definitely playing at the moment. Because now it's Olympic on the attack. Kukuchka was trying his best. Lost possession. Now it's Cronin. And now the ball comes back to Hong. So no score at Belmore. We've had 3 gone in the second half. Repeating, no score here. Harry has played it straight to an Olympic player. Now Sydney Olympic on the attack. Here's a chance. Kukuchka couldn't get any control on that. And Menakis involved in that play. The build was good by Olympic, trying to cut the dreams down of Sydney FC. Cronin. Now Alfaro works a ball that is a chance now for Lancaster. Works it inside. And again, McEwen has possession. Fernandez. Williams. Lancaster getting himself involved again. Starting to be everywhere in this contest. Now Furrow lost possession, and now they're on the attack. Amanakis Olympic. Good ball on to Kukuchka. Kukuchka cutting. Kukuchka couldn't hold control, and then the shot by Amanakis saved. Pushed away by Zavadinos. Will be a corner. Okay. It's 0-0 after 5 minutes in the second half at Belmore Sports Ground. Corner about to be fired in. It'll be a left footer. Amanaka's in. Deviates off FC. Henley couldn't get to it. Fernandez played it back. Olympic on the attack. Again, this will be Politis, who finds here Amanakis. Bulgaria gave it straight to Headley. Headley now sends the ball on. Quickly stopped. Curto. Nice work. Changes we expect shortly for both sides. Going through the bench shortly. The ball goes out for Olympic. It's Ulovic, Bosniak, Arambasic, Luka, Grozos, Wong. FC, Batoya, Bazuti, Zakora, Aryan Saar, Conroy, Fletcher. Right. FC need to have a bit more vigour here. Last couple of minutes, Olympic all of a sudden have got the control of this game. They know that a draw for FC means they're out of finals. So they'll make sure they're the Great Wall, so to speak, as we know, after this game today, Olympic, they'll focus on the Australian Championship, but in League One next year, officially relegated last week. A situation we thought would never happen as the ball is worked up by Williams. A stark reminder how important it is for every side to be on top of things, because the drop can happen to any team. Amanakis. And now Kukuchka. Politis. Last touch, Olympic. By the way, halftime, United 3, St George 0. Every other game is in play as St George City. A chance for them, they've got a goal. So 1-1, Apia and St George City. As Olympic will have the foul, 33 yards from goal. This to be taken by Amanakis. Amanakis. Here's Olympic once again. Kewen. Inside, save is made. Zavadinos. Now it's Fowler. Fowler losing possession. That was nice work by Bulgaria. As now stepping. Amanakis gave it straight to Sydney FC. Here's Headley on the left. Touching last Olympic. So now, Headley, Alfaro. Nobody chasing. Ball is stopped by Philip Curto. So we've had 9.5 in this second half. No score on the board. Amanakis. He wins his side of the foul. Given away by Lancaster. Referee Charlie Hollings has a chat. Okay, so set piece about to be taken. So, as I mentioned before, 1-1 between Marconi and Spirit. 4 minutes into the second half there. We'll keep you posted with that one. It's important now. Here's a pass on to Headley. Tay Headley! Tay Headley! FC at the moment are in 6th place. A vital moment for that goal to be delivered by Tay Headley. He's 5th for the season. Well, every game has got a goal now. And that could be so vital. So vital. They're on 44 or 43 points, I should say. So Sydney FC on 43 points are ahead of Spirit on the live ladder. Tay Headley getting the goal. Who else but Tay Headley? And now Tay Headley again. He wants more. They know they need a second. They want the result now. All of a sudden, the confidence for these young kids. Yeah, handball will be called. Alfaro. Well, that situation. We're all watching this Marconi Spirit game now because it's fascinating what happens there. Remember, they're how many minutes into that? They're 6 minutes into the second half, so they started after us. So we might stick around just to check the score and let you know what's happening there. You almost, as now Kewen can't get onto that. I was about to say you almost want, not in the, I don't say it in any bad way, but if you're a Sydney FC supporter, you want to know when this game is full time, you've got it. You almost want Marcane to score 3 goals quickly to ruin Spirit's fun if you're a Sydney FC supporter. As Charlie Hollings showing that he can boot a ball too. Now Olympic have it. Could you imagine if they get an equaliser here? It was a decent effort on Nazam going to the right, and he's missed it. So 1-0, Sydney FC lead Olympic. Coney 1, Spirit 1. Apia 1, St George City 1. Blacktown City 0, Wanderers 1. Rockdale 2, University of New South Wales 0. Sutherland 1, SD Raiders 0. Half-time United 3, St George FC 0. Wollongong 0, Manly 3. Right. Now, Fowler worked it back to Negro. Now it's to Cronin. Cronin's got Headley. Worked it into nobody. Hit it down. Eventually, our Furrow's running back for it. Olympic have it through Callahan. He can't control. Williams. And again, this is where they cook. Our Furrow. And that does nothing except go back to Philip Curto. All right. I don't know what team you want to be at the moment. You want to be Manly, I suppose, because you know you've done your job now. You're in the finals, so you're sweet. If you're Manly, you're okay. There's now Marshall Witt worked it back. There was nobody in the middle of that 6-yard box. St George City have just scored a goal to go 2-1 up against Apia. Back here, still 1-0 to FC. So there was a medical incident. That's the reason why there was a delay at St George FC versus City United. Williams worked it back. Now Williams worked it to his left to Cronin. And Furrow can't get to it. Touched off Hong. Throw on this western side. Foul up. And now again, Kewen caught in. Will go straight to Headley. Headley. Kay Headley. Nice work, Headley. Works it to the far post. Going to get the head of the way there. Travato. And it's cleared. Wanderers have just scored to make it 2-0 against Blacktown City. It's a weird period now in this game because Sydney FC's got the lead. And we're all watching over and seeing what's happening at Marconi and Spirit. And that game is 1-1. What an ending. Headley again. Dispossessed. But the ball will drop back for FC. Well, Kukuchka gives away the foul. Challenge on Lancaster. Cronin. Headley. Inside. Negro. Dispossessed. And now Olympic go away. Now Callahan. Well, it was great work by Williams to win the race. He's able to play it out. Throw on this near side, Tyler. FC have it on this left channel. Does go out. Touching Olympic last. Thought Cronin would get a touch onto it. He didn't. We've had 18 minutes in this second half. So the foul goes the way of Olympic after Fernandez was taken down the challenge. Wants the ball quickly off Cronin. So Kukuchka's on the right, but you sense Armanakis will be the man to take this. Kukuchka's now moving to the right of Armanakis. And Armanakis, what's his call going to be is now Kukuchka well and truly gets himself in the box. Armanakis, left foot, curls in, punched away nicely by Zavadinos. Foul goes the way of FC2. $19 and a half gone. Second half, 1-0 FC. 1-1 between Marconi and Spirit. Two of the most important games at the moment. Sydney United, who lead 3-0 against St George FC, have done enough. I'd love to score more goals just in case that gets into the equation. As now Kukuchka on the left foot inside. Well, Farrier's got a touch on that. Eventually, the ball was slid back inside by Fernandez, touched off FC, and will be a corner. Zappi have just levelled up to make it 2-2 against St George City. Olympic again. Tried at the mixer, didn't quite work. Now Headley couldn't get to that ball, goes out for a throw for Olympic. Trzakovic. When's the first change for either side? That's going to be a good question. There's Hong. Has got it. McEwen. Nice ball by Fernandez back. Trzakovic. He's got Hong, but decides to go to his right. Short pass out. Politis. Substitution for FC. About to come. And on the field will be in Ardian Sarr. So Ardian Sarr to come on. And coming off will be Alfaro. So there's the first change of the game. Ardian Sarr makes his way onto the field. So now Olympic on the attack. Callahan. He's got support. Decides to go himself and then played back by Ardian Sarr. And now Sydney FC just boot a ball that will go straight back to Tresaklovic. So again, Olympic have it on the right. Politis. Oh, he's given this ball straight up. And now here's a chance. Now, Chavato worked it. Fowler couldn't control it. Ardian Saar doing his best, but he can't get onto it. Now Olympic again. Building. Nice ball by Amanakis. Fernandez to Akuan. Akuan working to his left. Olympic trying to steal one back now. Ardian Saar is on the field. Is now stepping around. Couldn't get a shot away. Nizam. As it comes back to Politis. Nizam again. Kukuchka's ball was nice. Callahan turns over the top of Zavadinos. Goal kick. All of a sudden, Olympic are trying to beat the party poopers again. Oh, what is going on today? We're in this weird zone now because we're watching both games and we're thinking, what's going to happen? Is it going to be a situation where FC do get that second goal? Do they concede? Is it Marconi that will get a goal to make it 2-1 and help FC, or will Spirit get another goal to end Sydney FC's hopes? Like, all happening on the final day. The battle for 6th place. As now, it's Kukuchka. Fernandez, Bulgaria, Hong. Olympic, of course. Their focus will be the Australian Championship. League One next year after being relegated last week. As Marshall Witt was taken down the challenge. So we're in a lull with all the other games at the moment as well. Big crowd at Seymour again. Australian Championship at Seymour, sure, that will be awesome. It's on a run on that occasion, Ardian Saar, but that ball bouncing out. Throw for Sydney Olympic. Right, so, taking stock. Apia 2, St George City 2, 67 in. 67 in, Blacktown 0, Wanderers 2. 65 in, Marconi 1, Spirit 1. Rockdale 2, University of New South Wales 0, 70 in. Sutherland 1, SD Raiders 0, 65 in. Sydney United 3, St George FC 0, 10 into the second half. Wollongong 0, Manly 3, 75 in. And here a change. About to see come on Aaron Basic. Aaron Basic to come on, and also Boshniak. So the two changes. Boshniak makes his way on, and Fernandez is going to go the other side, same as Akuan. So those two make their way. So again, here's a chance, but just goes to the left. Manakis couldn't pull the trigger as well as it needed to in that situation. Akian off the field. Fowler, he wants that goal, doesn't he? Scored last week. FC need this second goal. Some regards, you start to think the situation we are in and about goal difference. I think for Sydney FC, if they were not to make the finals, there will be 2 games they would rue. And they are the Wanderers games. Losing 4-0 away in round 2. And then that loss in round 17 when they were belted 6-0. So, it's easy to say, but I think in this situation, if Spirit end up winning, they'll rue those games. But that's not the focus at the moment. The focus is about Sydney FC doing their best to hold Olympic. Olympic are trying to build. We've got about 16 remaining in regulation time at Belmore. Now, this venue doesn't have the scoreboard in operation. I've got the timepiece on because the live salt we normally use, let's just say, went 2 minutes early. So they just went a little bit early. The timing. Headley. Adian Sarr over the top of Philip Curto. Score still 1-0 Sydney FC. Manly, by the way, 3-0 against Wollongong. That is with 12 to go. So Wollongong season is over. Manly about to make the finals. Bagardia chips it forward. Fowler played it down. Travato has got possession. Travato taking down the challenge. Foul goes the way of Sydney FC. Oh boy. Now Bosniak will give away. Well, he won't get a yellow card. I'll have a warning. But he did come across. Yeah, just a chat between Bosniak and Travato. But I'll tell you what, they got themselves in a bit of bother there. Right. Adian Sarr can't get onto that one. Olympic have possession. Kukuchka backhills the ball out. Throw to Sydney FC. Every game has had a lull now. So we're just waiting on the craziness about to happen, which you'd think in the next couple of minutes it could, well and truly. Cronin. Able to cross it in. Drops down. And, yeah, the flag was up. I think the ball did go out. Regardless, it will be a free kick. Well, not a free kick, a goal kick to Olympic. So they'll quickly go forward here. Sydney Olympic down by 1. Bosniak on the left. Inside, Callahan. Callahan pulls the trigger. Zavadinos makes the save. As SD Raiders have just scored. 1-1 against Sutherland. ST's on 41 points now. So they've joined the party. Actually, this is all happening now. We've got some games. As that corner fired in, but the save was made quickly by Zavadinos. Where to look is the question. We'll focus on this because they're building Sydney FC. Fowler outside the box. Fowler looking for support. We'll have to work it back. Works it through legs. Nice pass by Lancaster, and then the ball by Fowler, and touched Bosniak, and it will be a corner. Italy says he'll take it, and he wants players to get in position. Substitution for FC. Pizzuti is about to come on. And I think, just seeing here, is it going to be, okay, Tay Headley's not going to take the corner, it'll be Cronin. And coming off that, probably is Travato. So Travato is coming off. As Manly have just scored their 4th goal to make it 4-0 against Wollongong. All right. So we can get back to this game now. Cronin takes the corner. It's an end swinger. Head of the way by Olympic, but still alive. Lancaster was trying to say there was a foul against Olympic, or at least it touched off Olympic for a corner. It is the case. So I thought maybe there could have been a handball, but no. They've called the ball touching Olympic in flight. So corner to be taken. This time it will be Tay Headley, right side for a right footer. Tay Headley moves in. Head of the way by Bosniak. Cleared up in the sky by Callahan. It goes out for a throw. Sydney Olympic down 1-0. They're about to make a substitution. Grozos about to come on. We have got 9 minutes of regulation time. Curto has possession. Decides to jack Hyatt to the right. Politis works it upstream. Touch on was nice by Aaron Basic. Kukuchka couldn't do much with it. Politis. Aaron Basic taken down. Foul called. Olympic want to get the equaliser here. Substitution is made. I think that's Politis that goes off. Peter Politis off. And on is Grozos. Foul to be taken. A free kick. Worked in nicely. Oh, I tell you what, there was a faint touch. It was a nice ball by Amanakis. And I think he flies through Callahan to get the deft touch. He only just got the touch, Bally Callahan, but Amanakis, what a beautiful ball. And it's 1-1. And all of a sudden, we're back to level. 1-1 and FC need to score quickly. Ball goes back towards Curto. So again, Farias. Fowler can't get to it. Olympic now. Aram Basic. Aram Basic to his right. Amanakis. Amanakis back inside. There's a touch. Amanakis can't get to it. Here they come again. Ardian Sarr chips the ball. Fowler will have to get onto it. He might have to work it back here. He's got Cronin. There was a touch by Hong. The ball went out. And the throw goes the way of Sydney FC. Right. 1-1 the score. We've got around about 6.5 of regulation time. The crazy game continues. The witching hour at Belmore Sports Ground. Sokolovic. I thought that ball went out. It hasn't. Cronin works the ball inside. Ardian Sarr was in position with the header, but it didn't work. And again, the ball comes back. Oh no. Farias gave it away. Olympic, they want a second goal here. Ball inside the Callahan. Callahan can't beat Zavadinos this time. Ball booted by Zavadinos. Fowler chested it. Negro couldn't get to it. Bulgaria gave it straight towards Marshall Witt. And now it's Fowler. Works it to Headley on the right. Headley in the box. Works it in. Nobody could get to that one. And will go out for a goal kick. Right. It's 1-1 at Belmore. 5 minutes of regulation time. Substitution made. Coming on for FC's Sakura. And off the field is Negro. Ball goes over halfway. Foul was called for Olympic. They did score in the death last week, Sydney FC, we should note. Headley's got it. Headley takes a shot. It goes over the top. Kurto was out of his box there. And he tried his best, Headley, but no, not to be in that situation. Got a game on our hands. 1-1 Olympic at FC. 1-1 Marconi and Spirit. Both games so vital. Curto, again, to take this. We've got 3.5 of regulation time. Arpi have just scored to make it 3-2 against St George City. Header by Farias. Olympic. Well, they'll get a foul here. The challenge on Callahan. He's been an impact in the last couple of minutes. This game not over by any means. Hong works it over halfway. So, Sydney FC with possession. The ball is scooted forward, but again, it stopped. Philip Curto calling for runners. 4-0, United lead, St George FC. Looks like they've got second spot in the bag now. As now, Ardian Sarr works it to his right. Now, Headley worked a ball. Marshall Witt, a chance here for Sydney FC. Ball goes back to Marshall Witt. He's taken down the area. Is it a penalty? No. It's all going on at Belmore Sports Ground. As now Headley again was on the run. Bosniak tried to stop it. Headley, nice work. Headley in the area, taken down by Bosniak. Not called again. As now here's the header. Was not quite the best by Sakura. As now Amanakis comes to his right. Amanakis over halfway. And the ball goes out. FC quickly. Olympic. They want a goal here. Adam Basic turned over. Farias taken down the challenge. Aaron Basic is in the book. Yellow card. We're about to hit injury time. We don't have a board here. And I couldn't quite see what the wording was from the fourth official in Reece Edwards. I couldn't see what he mouthed to Sydney FC. Ardian Sarr dispossessed. Sydney FC need to defend here. Olympic on the attack. Now the ball is worked on by Amanakis. They come back to the left side here. Here's Aaron Basic. Aaron Basic tries inside. Zavadinos, great save. FC again need to stop Olympic and need to get possession quickly. Ball is played to the right. Played back by Amanakis. Drilled across by Tresaklovic. Ball goes out. Couldn't do anything with it, Williams. We're in injury time now. It looks like Sydney FC's dream of a finals berth is over. Farias works it over halfway. Ball is headed down by Tresaklovic. FC have got it again. Sakura worked it on the Headley. Crosses it inside. It's lobbed up by Hong. He has to head it. He does so. Olympic on the counter. Kakuchka works it inside. Flag is up, offside. Adam Basic is offside. As now they go over halfway. Marshall Witt is running onto it. Couldn't get to it. Curto, great work. He's told to boot it. He does to halfway. It looks likely it's a draw. Kakuchka, though, going forward for Olympic. Kakuchka works it. He tries to take a shot to his right. Aaron Basic can't control. Arpi have made it 4-2, by the way, against St George City. FC need to go forward. We don't know how long left. Zavadinos over halfway. Ball is headed by Olympic. Again, it comes down eventually. Olympic have got it. Tresaklovic just going forward. Ball will go to the right. Kakuchka and then played out. Played out by Amanakis. Now about to see a throw. Cronin works it. It's headed by Tresaklovic. It's foul up. And he's taken the challenge. But the ball goes out for a throw for Olympic. It's now Kukushka. On the ground there will be in Lancaster. Now Kukushka works it to his left. Olympic looking for another goal. Bulgaria, Kukushka, won by FC. Now it's Headley. Headley's over halfway. Headley taking down the challenge. Referee will go to his book. Yellow card given to Grozos. And FC have got a chance. As I said, we don't know how long. It doesn't matter because the referee's blown his whistle. And FC's dream of a finals berth is sadly, at the moment, not there. Unless Marconi score a goal against Spirit in the next couple of minutes, it looks likely FC's campaign is over. So we await and see. Obviously, the other story today, Olympics final game in the NPL men's for a little while. They'll be hoping to get back in 2028, but for 27 there in League One. Australian Championship will be the focus next, though, for them. Sydney United have scored another goal to make it 5-0. So we're 1-1 at full time. And Marconi against Spirit. It's 1-1 as we speak. A couple of minutes remaining there. Just watching that game, FC need the result to go their way. They're going to end up on 41 points, Sydney FC. So we'll take stock scores first. Apia 4, St George City 2, Blacktown 0, Wanderers 2, Marconi 1, Spirit 1, Rockdale full-time 2-0 against University of New South Wales. Sutherland 1-1 against SD Raiders. Olympic 1, FC 1 here full-time. United lead 5-0 against St George FC full-time. Wolves 0, Wollongong 4. So we'll leave you here from Belmore Sports Ground, but tune into that game at Marconi because it's going off. Marconi and Spirit with a couple of minutes to go. Who will win that game? Oh boy. We'll go there. Because signing off from Belmore Sports Ground. Repeating, 1-1 between Olympic and FC. You think their season's over, but if Marconi can get a goal, they might just sneak in. We'll leave you here on Football New South Wales. Head to whatever game you want to watch. The concluding stages of Marconi and Spirit will be very fascinating.